On this episode of How to Do Florida, we're flying high on a jetpack adventure in the Florida Keys.
I'm gonna be out there flying, and I've never done this before, so
Then Chef Justin makes one for the kid in all of us.
It's Florida tomato and lobster mac and cheese.
And later it's a father-son trip canoe camping way down upon the Suwannee River.
The Suwannee River is absolutely one of the prettiest rivers I've ever been on in Florida.
This is How to Do Florida.
Today on the show, we'll show you how to do jetpacking.
Imagine turning heads as you go top gunning over open water like 007. Jetpacks have stemmed from fiction, but a South Florida company has made it a reality. The Florida Keys was the first location to bring this flying circus to market. And for visitors, it's quickly becoming a Florida Keys have-to. Today we're here at Hawks Cay Resort in Marathon in the Florida Keys, which is about 2 hours south of Miami. Marathon has tons to do and see, but today we're zooming in on the latest addition to their water sports activity list, the Jet Lev. Jason Backus is the flight instructor at the Sundance Water Sports at Hawks Cay Resort.
How you doing, Jason?
Good. How you doing?
He's going to be showing us how to fly over the waters of the Florida Keys. So here's how it works. Using water as jet propulsion, a small control craft, which is basically like a jet ski, pumps water through a 30-foot tube into the jetpack, sending riders up 3 stories high and at speeds up to 30 miles an hour. Step 1, how it works.
what do we need to know about this thing?
Well, Chad, first starts back over here with the machine. What it is, it's a 4-stroke, 200 horsepower, and it's got the engine and the pump. What it does is we have a 33-foot hose. The water comes all the way up the hose, all the way to the back here, and it splits off from the back.
So this is the water sucker.
That is the water sucker.
This is what makes it all possible.
That's what makes it possible. So it comes up, and you have 2 nozzles here. What it does, it splits it. It comes off both nozzles. All right, we actually have our throttle right over here. We actually start it also. We have a kill switch. Start is on the bottom and our throttle. So actually all the power is in the palm of your hands.
Okay.
And we have a nice harness here. We'll stick you in there, and at any time at all, when you get out, all you do is spin it. Actually want to be nice and snug, so every little movement that your body does, it's going to react to it.
Okay. And this seat, do you have something bigger with more cushion?
Nope, that would be our seat. That's it. You get a nice big seat, and it's not going to work that well.
Let's talk about these arms here. What are these?
The arms are actually adjustable. They actually just move the nozzles around. All right,
Okay.
you want to try to keep them as even as possible, and we get out there and do most of the movement right with your neck.
I don't see a cup holder on here. What else do we have? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep, that was the kill switch.
What was that?
You started it up, I killed it.
It's time for step 2, flight instruction.
All right, when we start out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right in the water like this, nice and easy, just kind of floating in the water. All right, what I want you to do, the key thing is to get forward momentum. You're gonna take your arms, put your arms down before your head goes into the water, bring them back up, okay? Try to do most of the steering with your neck and your shoulders. Nice and easy. I'm gonna give you a little bit of throttle. Try to go forward. All right, do most of the steering, like I said, just by leaning. Get a little more throttle. And by leaning. Also, like I said, you want to get even, you don't want to go back and forth.
Yeah, don't do that.
Nice, even forward momentum, what he said. Now we're ready for step 3, liftoff mode.
So here's the situation. I'm being strapped to this atom-splitting super soaker backpack machine, and I'm gonna be out there flying.
I want to be honest with you, Jason. I feel a little vulnerable with you with that remote control in your hand.
You should. All right, here we go. What color lights do you have for me?
Fast, blinking green.
Awesome. Go ahead and hit that bottom start button. Let it shake you a little bit. All right, we're gonna try to get that forward momentum.
When you first start out, the instructor controls your throttle with the remote control.
Awesome, good job. All right, a little more throttle.
Jason was able to give me play-by-play instruction through a waterproof communication system, which was incredibly helpful.
Perfect. All right, keep that forward momentum. There you go. That's your key. Remember, if you stand still, you're gonna start to twist. All right, need a little more throttle. We're gonna get you out of the water. Make sure you keep that forward momentum.
It took a little bit of practice, but after 10 minutes or so, I had gotten the hang of the controls and I was ready to fly on my own.
Chad, you are now flying the jet lab.
That was awesome, sir.
Awesome. Good job.
Man,
Awesome.
that was cool. I tell you what, once I could get past kind of the mechanics of this and kind of get a little self-confidence with how to maneuver it, then it was just like, all right, now I just want to have fun. I want to move around. I want to go up and down and going in and out of the water. That was pretty cool.
Normally it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to pick it up. You picked it up in about 30 seconds.
For someone who's just doing this for the first time, what's the key?
Try to relax.
Yeah.
And listen to what I'm saying. If you can do that, excellent.
Yeah, dude. Fun. Good stuff.
It's awesome.
This is great.
Wow, the exhilaration of having your own personal watercraft strapped to your back as you soar over the air, having that sense of weightlessness is truly a childhood dream come true. This definitely deserves to be at the top of your Do Florida list.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
Loved it.
Good, good. Glad you had fun.
Whew. Yeah, you need to do this. Oh man, that is so cool. Hey, for more information on jetpacking, go to our website at howtodoflorida.com.
Still to come, we're showing you how to do canoe camping.
This is like a good spot to camp?
It's like an awesome spot.
But first, Chef Justin shows you how to make lobster tomato mac and cheese.
Oh, that's yummy.
Wow.
You're watching How to Do Florida. We'll be right back.
All right, Chef, you got me out here in this tomato field. What are we doing out here?
You know, Chad, I really wanted to show you exactly where Florida tomatoes are born, bred, and pampered.
We're just talking about tomatoes here, right?
No, Chad, we're talking about Florida tomato, the very ones that are rich in vitamin A, C, only 25 calories per serving with all that flavor.
Well, I know I've seen you put them on just about everything in the kitchen.
That's right, I do. And that reminds me of the great story you told me about your grandmother's tomatoes.
You talking about the Tom Witch?
That's the one, but I have an updated version for you to try.
Oh yeah.
Whole wheat bread, my special herb mayo, and thick sliced Florida tomato.
Oh, Chef, I feel like I'm 7 again. You nailed it.
And remember, don't ever refrigerate your tomatoes. You want to keep them on the counter or in a bowl until they ripen naturally.
Oh, Chef, look at that sucker. Big, red, and beautiful.
Now that's exactly what you want in the supermarket.
Oh, man.
And now, off to the studio for a banging recipe.
Using fresh Florida tomatoes. Hey, it's tomatoes and lobster.
It's Florida tomato and lobster mac and cheese.
And Chef's promised to show us how.
All right, Chad, you know what? Everybody loves mac and cheese.
You're right.
We are going Florida tomato and lobster mac and cheese. So what we got?
Mac and cheese.
First of all, we got a pan over medium heat. We got some butter coming in. All right, into that, we're going with onions and we're going garlic. Now we got to add our flour. And now basically we're making a roux which is going to thicken up our milk that we're going to add. So it's going to make it nice and thick and creamy. So we're going to slowly add our flour in there. Now that our flour is cooked, it's time to add our milk. Okay, all the milk's going in. A little bit of salt and pepper going in. Always got to season, right? Now it's time to add our cheese. What I have here is I have some Gruyere cheese and I have some sharp cheddar. So let's start getting this in here.
Just remember, I'm here to help, Chef.
Yes, you are.
Oh, that's
I'm also going to go ahead and add a little cayenne pepper. This is going to give it a little bit of spice.
a little bit of color, too.
And a little Dijon mustard, too. It's going to give it a little tang and some good flavor. Okay, let's go in with some of this Gruyere cheese now. Gets a little bit of workout, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and get our lobster cut up. This is our Florida spiny lobster that I blanched off earlier. Now, depending on what size of lobster bites you want in your mac and cheese.
Chunky. We go chunky.
So I'm gonna cut some big chunks here.
I want to know it when I have a lobster.
That's right, that's right. I've got my pasta here too. I'm using a baby penne pasta right here. All right, let's go ahead and pour some of that in here. That is gooey.
Yeah, it looks good, Chef.
Let's add our lobster to that. Oh my goodness gracious.
You know,
That
mac and
is
cheese has
looking
become
good.
kind of a big deal, you know, in restaurants.
We got a little chives going in. Now I've got my bacon pan here. So let's go ahead and add this in. Beautiful. All right. So we just gonna kind of level this out just a little bit like that. It is time to add our tomato. We have these beautiful Florida tomatoes here. I'm just gonna put a few thin slices right on top. Beautiful Florida tomatoes.
I need one more slice.
Big and red and yummy.
Look at that. Parao.
What I have here is a little panko breadcrumbs, the Japanese style breadcrumbs. I've added a little bit of olive oil. It's gonna help it brown up. And I've just got a little bit of parsley and some Parmesan cheese in there. That's gonna give it the crispness that we're looking for. So we're just gonna sprinkle this on top. Now this needs to go into a hot oven at about 375 degrees. It's gonna cook for at least 10 to 15 minutes. We wanna make sure it's heated through and bubbly on the outside.
For recipes on this dish and many more like it, go to our website, howtodoflorida.com.
Oh. Coming up next,
All right, Chad, y'all have a great trip.
See you in 3 days, sir.
it's the father-son canoe trip of a lifetime when How to Do Florida returns.
Hey, today we're canoe camping and we're gonna show you how. Chase, how's that chili?
Awesome.
The black water of the Swanee River winds through jagged limestone cliffs and past high bluffs topped with ancient oaks. This remarkable landscape is unlike any other place in Florida and deserves to be taken in slowly. There's no better way to experience this primitive beauty than by venturing out on a canoe camping trip. To access the river that divides Florida's panhandle from its peninsula, we headed to the historic town of White Springs. Located 70 miles west of Jacksonville and about 2.5 hours northwest of Orlando. For my son Chase's birthday, I decided to take him on a father and son trip of a lifetime, canoeing and camping way down upon the Swanee River. But first, we stopped at Gander Mountain to gear up for the trip.
Run. Go. Hey.
We need a stove
Okay.
that's small, portable, and light.
I would recommend the MSR Dragonfly.
Lightweight.
Very powerful, great for canoe camping, heats water very quickly.
Like it.
When you're out canoe camping, you want your stuff to stay dry, I recommend this bag right here.
Chase, get 2 of those, buddy.
About a 30-degree bag, works great here in Florida.
Mike, I really appreciate your help.
No problem at all. Enjoy canoe camping, have a great time.
We will, thank you. Come on, buddy.
Bye.
All we needed now was a canoe. Step 2, rent and pack your canoe. We headed over to American Canoe Adventures, a local outfitter in the area.
Good to see you, man.
There we met up with Charlie Shaw, who got us set up with our canoe equipment and maps.
Chad, canoe camping is about what you don't bring. You don't have to bring big cots. You don't have to bring big pots and pans.
That's really the neat part of canoe camping is keeping it small. There's no big bags of charcoal, no big stacks of firewood.
Nope.
It is really just about bringing exactly what you need.
If you do it pretty much just like backpacking, bring what you can tote,
Yeah.
you're good to go. I believe you're in good shape.
Well, this was it. Just me and my son, about to embark on what I hope would be a canoe camping trip that Chase would remember for the rest of his life.
Let's get you buckled in here.
All right, Chad, y'all have a great trip.
See you in 3 days, sir.
See y'all later.
You're my power guy.
One of the things that struck me the most about the Swanee was its calm black water. Tannins leached from plants in the Okefenokee create this dark, rich color, or possibly better described by Chase, who said, "Dad, are we floating in root beer?" But the Swanee is probably best known for the song that made it famous back in 1851.
The song Old Folks at Home, which is Florida's state song, by the way, was written about this very river, the Swanee River. Stephen Foster, the gentleman who wrote the song, never actually even visited the river. Stephen, you don't know what you were missing, buddy.
From the walls of cypress knees lining the banks to the remarkable white limestone cliffs, the Swanee is a magnificent sight to behold. More than 100 years ago, steamboats cruised these very waters, selling their wares to folks living along these banks.
The Swanee River is absolutely one of the prettiest rivers I've ever been on in Florida.
Daddy, let's look for a place to camp.
I think you're right, buddy. You ready?
Yep.
Let's start looking. We're looking for a nice flat shoreline.
Now it's time for step 3. Find a place to make camp.
This is like a good spot to camp?
It's like an awesome spot.
You want help to set this tent up, right?
Yes!
When setting up camp, your priority is always shelter. Believe me, you don't want to be setting up your tent in the dark.
Okay, there, I got it.
Yours is in there? Is your stake in good?
Yeah, it ain't good.
Tent's up?
Next up, campfire.
When you're coming out here on these canoe camping trips, bring some lighter knots. Some people call it lighter wood. It's light, small, but it gets the fire going really fast.
While I got the campfire going, Chase does what he does best, explore, looking for firewood.
Still right on the fire there, buddy. There you go.
Chili or stew makes for a great canoe camping meal. It's easy to pack and hearty enough to fill you up.
How's it looking, man? You like chili?
I had been waiting all day to give Chase his birthday present.
I have a gift. You want to open up now or tomorrow?
Now.
There you go. What is it?
My own knife.
Your knife. Is that pretty cool?
Thank you, Daddy.
Happy birthday, buddy.
As darkness fell over the campfire on the banks of the Swanee River, we ate dinner next to the fire, watched the moon, listened to the wildlife, but mostly, we just enjoyed the moment.
It's beautiful out here at night, isn't it?
At first light, with a gentle mist rising over the black water, it was time for a hot breakfast, ham and eggs. And, don't forget, coffee.
We're done, buddy. We got to pack up and get on the river.
Chase and I were taking in a little after-breakfast fishing when a visitor paddled up to our campsite.
Good morning.
It was Bob Giarda, Park Service Specialist at the Stephen Foster State Park. Bob and I sat down with a cup of joe while he told me all about this exceptional area.
And what a beautiful spot here, Bob. But you guys have places to camp all on this river, don't you?
I came up from Woods Ferry. It's one of our campsites just upriver, and it has elevated sleeping platforms that are screened in. They're just beautiful. We have hot and cold running water, places to cook. So it's almost all the conveniences of home, and you still get to leave home.
Bob, what are some things to do here, out here on the water?
There's lots to do. In fact, there's mountain biking, swimming, fishing, hiking, canoeing, camping, birding.
Daddy, can I go on the rope swing?
You want to go on the rope swing? He wants to hit the rope swing.
I don't blame him. It's a great day for it.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming out here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Before heading off to the rope swing, we broke down our camp and packed the canoe up and got ready for the next leg in our journey down the river. When you get down to it, it's really what canoe camping is all about, a journey. It's paddling down a beautiful river, taking in the amazing scenery, and stopping to check out something that looks like fun, just because you can. At nightfall, you make your camp and rest before moving on the next day as you continue to explore what lies around the river's bend.
Hey, to learn more about canoe camping, go to our website at howtodoflorida.com.
You're watching How to Do Florida, and we'll be right back.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it, but more importantly, I hope you feel encouraged to get out and do Florida. For more info on this episode, go to howtodoflorida.com, where you can watch full episodes, bonus material, and all of Chef Justin's yummy recipes. Be sure to check out our Do Florida page, which is our giant list of events and activities all over the Sunshine State. Yeah, you should check it out.
Get down. No coconuts for us.
We're gonna drop you in the water here. Go ahead, hit that switch down. And he's in.
You got what, about a 20-mile paddle back to the office or what? Whoa! God bless you, Bob. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that happened.
Oh, I'm sorry I ruined your shot.
Actually, it was fine. How can you not love the Florida Keys?
Watch yourself.
This is my MO. I'm very graceful.
Run north! You're in Los Angeles!
Hey, you come up close or what?
Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes.